Sir Arthur Dayne and House Dayne, the Sword of the Morning and his legacy. In the vast and violent world of Westeros, full of power-hungry lords, backstabbing politics, and brutal wars, a few names rise above the chaos, not for their ambition, but for their honor. Among these legendary figures stands Sir Arthur Dayne, a knight of House Dayne, remembered as perhaps the greatest swordsman the realm has ever known. But who was Arthur Dayne really? What made him so feared, so respected, so mythic? Let's take a deep dive into the life of Sir Arthur Dayne and the noble House Dayne of Dorne. House Dayne is one of the most ancient noble houses in Westeros. They rule from a castle called Starfall, located in the western part of Dorne near the mouth of the Torrentine River. Starfall is built on the spot where, according to legend, a falling star crashed into the ground thousands of years ago. That celestial event is more than just a myth. From the remains of that star, House Dayne forged a blade, Dawn, a pale, radiant sword unlike any other in Westeros. While it is not made of Valyrian steel, many claim it is its equal in strength, sharpness, and beauty. The sword can only be wielded by a knight deemed worthy, someone truly heroic. Only such a person earns the ancient title of Sword of the Morning. This title isn't inherited by blood, but by deed. Not every Dane can carry Dawn, only those who prove themselves exceptional. This tradition gives House Dayne a special status in Westeros. They are known for elegance, mystery, and martial greatness, not politics, not scheming. Arthur Dayne was born into this legacy, and from a young age he proved he was destined for greatness. Though we don't know his exact birth year, Arthur likely grew up during the reign of King Jaehaerys II and matured under King Aerys II, the Mad King. From early on, Arthur's talent with the sword was unmatched. But it wasn't just his fighting ability that impressed people. It was his quiet strength, his sense of honor, his ability to inspire others without needing to boast. Arthur eventually joined the King's Guard, the elite royal bodyguard made up of 7 knights sworn to protect the king. The white cloaks they wore symbolized their purity of purpose. No marriage, no lands, no ambitions outside duty. Arthur's inclusion among the Kingsguard wasn't just a formality. He quickly became known as its strongest member, both in battle and in virtue. One of the most important relationships in Arthur Dayne's life was with Prince Rhaegar Targaryen, the heir to the Iron Throne. Unlike his father Aerys, Rhaegar was noble, poetic, and thoughtful. He wasn't a madman, he was a visionary, and Arthur became one of his most loyal protectors. In fact, many believe Arthur's true loyalty lay not with King Aerys, but with Rhaegar himself. Arthur was by Rhaegar's side during critical events in Westerosi history, including the mysterious abduction of Lyanna Stark, which ignited Robert's rebellion. Arthur did not fight in the major battles of the rebellion, like the Trident or the sack of King's Landing. Instead, he was stationed far to the south, at the Tower of Joy, guarding something or someone of incredible importance. After Robert Baratheon's victory and the fall of House Targaryen, Eddard Stark led a small group of men south to the Red Mountains of Dorne. There, they found the Tower of Joy guarded by 3 Kingsguard, including Arthur Dayne. Why were they there? Who were they protecting? It wasn't the fallen king or even the dead prince. They were guarding Lyanna Stark, who had just given birth to Jon Snow, or as we now know him, Aegon Targaryen, the true heir to the throne. Arthur knew the truth, and he was willing to die to protect it. A battle followed, 6 Northmen against 3 legendary knights. Arthur Dayne, wielding Dawn, reportedly fought like no other man ever had. He nearly killed every single attacker by himself. In the end, he only fell because Howland Reed, Ned's ally, stabbed him from behind. Even Ned Stark admitted Arthur deserved a better death. Arthur's fall at the Tower of Joy wasn't just the end of a warrior, it was the end of an era. After Arthur's death, Dawn was returned to Starfall, as was the custom, but no one has wielded it since. No other Dane has claimed the title Sword of the Morning. That tells us something crucial. No one has proven worthy. Arthur set a standard so high that not even his own kin have tried to follow in his footsteps. His legend is so vast, so pure, that it almost casts a shadow over the future of his house. Even in the chaos of Game of Thrones, even among dragons, undead, and tyrants, the name Arthur Dayne still commands respect, from fans, lords, and knights alike. Other members of House Dayne also carry mysterious reputations. Ashara Dayne, Arthur's sister, is surrounded by rumors. She was said to be beautiful, melancholic, and possibly romantically involved with Eddard Stark. Some fan theories suggest she may be the mother of Jon Snow, though this has never been confirmed. House Dayne itself is still active, but largely in the background. In the books, we briefly meet Edric Dayne, a distant relative who served as squire to Beric Dondarrion, but the house hasn't played a major role in recent conflicts. That said, the mystery of Dawn remains. The sword still rests at Starfall, waiting for someone who can lift it with the same honor and strength that Arthur once did. Arthur Dayne wasn't just a swordsman, he was an ideal. He was what a knight was supposed to be in a world that had forgotten what knighthood really meant. In a realm ruled by politics, corruption, and treachery, Arthur Dayne stood apart, a shining figure who served not for power, but for principle. He died protecting a secret that shaped the fate of Westeros. He lived without scandal. He fought without cruelty. And he is remembered not for the number of men he killed, but for the way he carried himself in a world of darkness. That's why, even now, long after his death, people still ask, was Sir Arthur Dayne the greatest knight who ever lived? Maybe he was. Though Arthur Dayne died young, his legend only grew with time. Songs were sung, stories whispered, and every aspiring knight in Westeros grew up hearing tales of the Sword of the Morning, a man who could have ruled through fear but chose to serve with honor. Even among the Targaryen loyalists, his name stands apart. Unlike others who followed Aerys blindly into madness, Arthur carried his duty with painful clarity. He was not a man of blind obedience. He was a man of conscience, navigating a time of conflicting loyalties with silent grace. His story serves as a mirror to the fall of the Old Order, a world where knights were more than killers in armor. With his death at the Tower of Joy, a certain nobility died as well. In the decades that followed, the memory of Arthur Dayne became something rare, a source of both pride and sadness. Pride because he showed what was possible. Sadness because men like him no longer exist. In the minds of many, he became a symbol, not just of martial prowess, but of idealism in a broken world. And now, with the return of dragons, the rise of new kings, and the reshaping of Westeros, one question lingers in the halls of Starfall, in the whispers of maesters, and in the dreams of squires who still train by moonlight. Will Westeros ever see another like Sir Arthur Dayne? Maybe not. But legends, true legends, never truly die.